going to talk to you about Eyes. This was 5 days ago. This company, Second Sight Medical Products, shot up through the roof. I feel like this is a good stock to look at just as a case study, and there is some potential for the stock to keep moving up. So let's dig in. First thing I want to say is that this is a research and development company. So looking at the fundamentals is not too useful. As an investor, you're banking on the idea that this company is going to make money in the far future. Not right now. They're in negative earnings right now. So, okay, that's there's no profitability that we can look at, like ratios in terms of financial ratios. In terms of like liquidity and solvency, there's stuff that we can look at, and they're not doing too bad. They got destroyed during COVID time, but I think that after their stock has shot up so much that their equity must be crazy high, and there's common stock in their equity, so they should be fine for financing whatever it is they need, the expenses that they have. So, Argus 2, or Argus 2S, that's what they got FDA approval for. And I like to think of the analogy like an iPhone and the S version of that iPhone. So the S version is usually a little better than the iPhone that's related. And the same thing can be said about the Argus 2S and the Argus 2. It talks about here in this press release that it's ergonomically a little better, and there's also more processing power, which sounds weird, but they said potentially allows for improved video processing. I don't understand why they said that when they've got FDA approval for a product. Like I would assume that they know for sure that there's improved video processing, but whatever, it is what it is. Another thing is this Argus 2S, it helps treat retinitis pigmentosa, which is a disease that affects currently 1.5 million people on Earth, and that's actually a rare disease, in my opinion, and I believe many other opinions. Like it's 1.5 million versus 7 point whatever billion people on Earth, so it's not that doesn't affect a lot of people. And then that disease can sometimes, very rarely, lead to blindness. They actually have a product that's for blindness. It's called the Orion Visual Cortical Prosthesis System. And yeah, so they have two products. They deal with different things. I think some people confuse the two, so just trying to clarify that. So there's three things that I think are worth noting with this press release. Two. The third is kind of just assumption or rumor. First one is there's a planned business combination with Pixium Vision. So if Pixium Vision is valuable, it will bring value to the stock. It'll pump up the price, hopefully. And then there's this, a 6-subject early feasibility study. I'm thinking that maybe there will be a press release in the future, and that could also cause the stock price to jump up. So the 6-subject early feasibility study on Orion. It's currently underway in 2 medical centers, one in Los Angeles, one in Houston. So if it's got positive results from the press release, then stock price will go up. If there's negative results, stock price will go down. So Orion helps to cure blindness, and it's an implanted cortical stimulation device. So it goes in the brain, and then that's very close to what Neuralink does. So there's possible, who knows, maybe they'll, that's a rumor I heard that, okay, maybe these guys will join in with, maybe they'll combine with Neuralink in the future, or maybe they'll have a deal with them, and that'll shoot the price through the roof as well. So, there's some potential here. That's it for fundamental analysis in my eyes, no pun intended. Okay, so for the technicals, when it comes to technicals, you're gonna have to prioritize something, and my priority is gonna be the algo. Algo is king, I've set my algo to low sensitivity, and I've added a stop loss. So I have like maximum is, my stop loss is 1%. So if it tells me to enter and then it tells me to exit, and like it's because it's dropped 1% below my entry price. Another cool thing is band hit count. So let's say I've entered over here at 4.32. So I have this is all in the toolbox actually. This is whatever you're seeing here. It's all in the toolbox because it goes on top of the stock price. So anyways, it says to buy here, and then band hit count will actually count the number of times that the stock price hits the upper bands of this Bollinger Band. It's like similar to Bollinger Band. It's not quite. It's actually something a little, I mean, very similar, but something different. So yeah, so it goes up, hits the upper bands 4 times, 8 times, 12 times, 13 times. And the reason I did this is because I already know that stocks like to gravitate towards upper bands. So yeah, so it hits 13 times, and this is FDA approval. So you know this is like it's got a lot of bullish momentum here. So then it continues. It doesn't always continue, especially when there's a lull. You know, when the stock price stops gravitating towards upper bands, it tends to do a reversal. But it didn't do that here. It just stopped at the middle and then bounced and then went all the way up. And then my rule of thumb for a really bullish stock, doesn't matter, in general is like somewhere around 20, the stock price will fall. And I love how it totally respects that. So I would have actually gotten out around here, especially because volume starts to drop. That's another important thing that I will probably be on the lookout for is price volume divergence. So these are my priorities when I'm going to look at a stock. It's going to be the algo, and it's going to be the band hit count. Because I could take profit at any one of these levels, and I'd be good. You know, that's another really important thing. Taking profit. You want to, like, the whole reason we're in this game is to take profit. So that's another totally it's totally acceptable to take profit. Like, there's no shame in taking profit. I think that's a good motto to play by. And then there's some other things. I just added this recently. I just created a trade on volume. I don't know. I thought it was cool. Volume keeps going up here. It's basically like a moving average of this volume thing. So it's kind of cool. And then this is a good time to enter. It's actually, well, it's a good time to enter over here because you can see the prices moving up. That's cool. And then what's cool is like the negative volume is outweighed by the positive volume. Not that important. I'm not gonna like prioritize this because volume is very hard to read. So okay, so what I will prioritize is what I talked about, and I think price weighted volume could be of use as well. Like, this looks like a pretty good entry point too. What I'm trying to do right now is look for confluence. I think I'm gonna end the video actually. I think this is pretty good. It's good enough. I would have accepted this trade, and that would have been my trade for the day. I think if I hit play, it yeah, it goes sideways and it just falls. Oh, another thing I kind of want to, okay, last but not least, is very important. Very, very, very important. Breakouts, okay? I've talked about them previously, and like, this is how it works. You connect the bottom, okay? Connect the bottom with, connect the lows of an uptrend. So support and resistance are rising, and you connect them with a line, a trend line, or what I call like rising support. So you'll want to buy when it hits the bottom, and then if it falls through, you should sell, okay? If it falls through, you should sell. So let's like go by that rule, okay? So it falls through at 5.98, and then the stock price goes, oh, it went like kind of lower, and then it went higher, and then I think what happens after? Does it just keep going higher? This is a pretty crappy trend line that I drew. Another thing, that wasn't a good example, but another thing is like the best trend line to follow was probably like very short-term trend lines for this one. So it would have been, have a look. So you can see that it's respecting this trend line. So this is actually a good time to sell. And then here's another time to buy, okay? So this is the bearish breakout right here at 6.31, falls, and then the bearish breakout is when you connect the highs. Well, that's kind of annoying. Connect the highs while it's going down. Okay, so I normally don't draw this. It's not that I normally don't draw. I always draw this kind of stuff. But yeah, I have an indicator for that too, so I'll probably be just watching my indicator. Channel breakout. So I set it to 1, so it's actually pretty tight, which is cool. And I'm just going to rewind it so you can see it. Let's rewind it. So my indicator across the toolbox is limited by the number of drawings, so I'm not shocked if I don't see the channel. So here you can see the channel here. So it actually turns fuchsia when, like, I'll rewind it into like real-time mode, right? So hit auto. Wait for it to load a bit. It's a heavy indicator, so there's like a lot of stuff in there. Okay, so it hits 11 times. Okay, that's cool. Then we got the channel. Channel looks super bullish. When you have this parallel movement, it's very bullish. Then it falls and it jumped back up. And then, okay, volume dropped a bit. And then, oh man, when you see this doji, I tend to run for the hills. Like, doji is like, it's so scary. Yeah, so it had a bit of a breakdown in the price right over here at 6.34. So if you had sold there, it wouldn't have been a bad idea because it went there, it bounced a bit. And then, can you see the bullish breakout? Here's the line right there. So it's telling me to sell because it has this fuchsia, and then it has lime, it means to buy. So it's only at 13. And then where's the bullish breakout? It should be like, if it crosses the line, the tops, it crosses the tops right here. Boom, cross the top. So you get in at 6.4, and then woohoo, enjoy. Yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I thought this was pretty cool. I'm gonna go over a bunch more because it helps me to get more confident. And this was the top gainer, obviously, of that day. And yeah, that's what I've been up to. Peace out. Hope you enjoyed. Take care.